Hi guys, and welcome to the Fat Pack Magic Vintage Cube. Today we're following behind Chris Wong, and he's got some awesome picks to show us. I hope. We're looking at the Verdant Catacombs, and I always like Verdant Catacombs as a first pick. Fetch lands are always great, but I think the Pack Rat is the pick here. Pack Rat is definitely a hands down, slam it down on the table first kind of pick. But if the Pack Rat wasn't in the pack, I don't know, maybe I'd look at the Jace Vryn's Prodigy, or definitely the Fetch land. Fetch lands are always fine for our first pick. It leaves you open, at least. But he's taking his sweet time not picking the Pack Rat. I don't know what else he could be seeing there. A lot of players, I think, misunderstand Pack Rat the first time they read it. I always see people like, hey, what does that thing do again? And then they read it and they're like, oh shit, I should have picked that. Pack Rat is great, though. It's a great card. Mainly because it leaves you open in a lot of different deck archetypes. You can use it in Did he not pick the Pack Rat? I swear to God, he didn't pick the Pack Rat. He picked the Pernicious Deed. Jesus Christ. Listen, yeah, Library of Alexandria and Mox Sapphire in the same pack. That's great and all, but he did not pick the freaking Pack Rat. Well, let's see if he at least picks the Mox Sapphire. I think Mox Sapphire is definitely the pick here. If you were in a more controlling deck, Library definitely, but Mox Sapphire leaves you much more open unless he's looking to go pick one, Pernicious Deed, pick two, Kiki Jiki. I don't really know about that one. I mean, Kiki Jiki's really heavy, you gotta really commit to it, and I guess he's reading the Library of Alexandria. I don't think you really need to make much of a decision between Library and Mox Sapphire, but I don't know. I like the Mox Sapphire here, personally. I think the Library is not going to do it for him, especially if he's color committing to green. Well, he picks Mox Sapphire. So he did something right. He did something right, guys. He did something right. Alright, looking through, there's good black-green in there. It looks like he's at least open to the idea of it. Recurring Nightmare. You just definitely picked the Recurring Nightmare. There's nothing else. I hope he picks the Recurring Nightmare. He's probably kicking himself if he knows what Pack Rat does and he passed it only to get the Recurring Nightmare in pick 3. Well, at least he picks the Recurring Nightmare. Man. Pack Rat and Recurring Nightmare would have been so freaking great together. And Survival of the Fittest. Damn. That is stacked. I hope he picks it. He's looking at the Mox Diamond and kind of going through the pack again, but man, that Survival. You pick Survival, definitely. He picked Survival. Awesome. Survival and Recurring Nightmare are just so good together. This pack doesn't have too much for him. Reanimate, though, definitely puts him in that Reanimator kind of deck if he wasn't already in it with the Recurring Nightmare. But he picks a Reanimator, and I think he's looking to wheel maybe the Sylvan Library? But he's got the start of a good kind of black-green Reanimator build. Maybe he can splash into blue. He's got the Mox for it. I like the Living Wish. If you don't get a bomb and you pick a Living Wish, then you can search out for whatever bomb you want. Like, a lot of people, they use Living Wish and, it normally hits a sideboard. But in the Cube Draft, it's house rules. Meaning, if you pick a wish card, you can wish for any card that you technically own. That means you can go to the shop and you can say, hey, whatever shop you're at, I want to buy a Grizzlebrand. Now, hey, and we're back to the first pack. It's a 6-man pod this week. And it looks like the Verdant Catacombs is wheeled around, which is pretty good, especially if he's in black-green. But you know what didn't come around? Pack Rat. He's looking at the Bramble Sovereign, and I like it, but I don't think it's going to do more for his deck than the Verdant Catacombs. And I kind of prioritize mana fixing. I think it's a good way to go in a multicolor cube. And there is a lot of multicolor in here. All he needs is something juicy and fat, like Craterhoof Behemoth or Avenger of Zendikar. Something with a good ETB to play off the Recurring Nightmare. Putrefy's a solid pick. Lingering Soul's wheeled around. I think he could have wheeled the Putrefy again, but he opts to hedge his bets on that one. I think he also doesn't want to send out the signal that black-green is open. He's hedging his bets there. Alright, Garrick. I think Garrick is the solid pick here. Garrick, Planeswalkers, maybe the Maelstrom Pulse. I like the Garrick more. I don't know, Chris. But Maelstrom Pulse definitely cures what ails you. It's the black-green Vindicate. Doesn't hit lands, but whatever. It's still Vindicate-ish. Alright, Flooded Grove, Fetid Heath. I don't know about the Fetid Heath. It's fine, but I think he already has the Mox Sapphire. I would have gone with the Flooded Grove. The only thing he's missing right now is bombs. Bombs to make that Recurring Nightmare go places. But the shell is pretty good. He's got the Living Wish, though, so who knows what he could pull out here. I think the Volrath Stronghold is the pick here. Volrath Stronghold to be able to kind of regenerate your Recurring Nightmare and your Survival of the Fittest. But he's eyeing the Primal Command. Plow Under is fine. You know, Plow Under, shuffle their permanent. Definitely the Flesh Bag Marauder here. Which is pretty good with Recurring Nightmare. Just keep popping it back. Sacrifice some Mana Dorks. He just needs a token. There we go. There's a token generator. The Retrofitter Foundry is a B-list Bitter Blossom, but it works in different archetypes, so I'm happy with it in the cube. You know, you can keep making dork. The Lingering Souls wheeled again. Man, that is juicy. And the final pick of the pack is Temporal Spring. Off with the second pack with a bang. Elspeth Time Walk? Man, Brainstorm? Brainstorm's great, but I think the snap pick here is Time Walk. Collective Brutality is good, but man, that Time Walk is just... He's already got blue and Mox Sapphire. He missed the Flooded Grove, but Time Walk is just so solid. You can splash for that. It's good enough to splash. And I love that he takes the Natural Order. But he doesn't have any bombs, and he's reanimating. Oh man, I do not get this pick. I do not understand why he would pass the Time Walk. Sorin's okay, but I like the Polluted Delta. There doesn't seem to be much else in the pack except for the Smuggler's Copter. I do like the Smuggler's Copter because it really goes well with... Polluted Delta's fine, but I don't think he's going to see that Smuggler's Copter wheel. Duretti, Hero's Downfall, Poliano. So, Poliano is awesome. It's always a dual land at the very least, and hopefully you can get 2 colors out of it. But if you're playing a 3-color deck and you can snag Poliano pretty early, it's an awesome pickup. I think the main thing he's going to look for is that Hero's Downfall or the fetch land. But he's been prioritizing land fixing right now. So, yeah, he's going to go with the fetch land. Especially if he's going to try and angle into white. Kokosho. Now that's a juicy bomb. Especially with the... Elesh Norn. Oh man, if you want a reanimator target and you're even splashing white, Elesh Norn has to be the way to go. A lot of people are going to skip the Kokosho. They're not really going to play it. They're not going to see the value in it. But Elesh Norn is not going to wheel. That is not going to go around. Why is he taking the Scavenging Ooze? Chris, you're Reanimator! You want to reanimate things. You don't want to exile things. You want to reanimate... Oh, he's been looking for bombs, and he passed up 2 of them. And now, it looks like he's opting for either the Baleful Strix or the Liliana. Chris, if you were going to pass the Time Walk, then you obviously take the Liliana. I mean, you take the Liliana in this case regardless, but you passed up just too much good blue stuff to take the Baleful Strix. Oh, man. Please don't take the Strix here, Chris. He's going to drive me crazy. Chris, take the Liliana. Take the Liliana. And Frantic Search, you're eyeing the Frantic Search. Chris, you take the Liliana. Just take the Liliana. There's not much in that pack that's going to wheel for you. Take the Liliana. Take it. Chris, listen to me here. Chris. Don't do it. There we go. Takes Liliana. Liliana is great. She's a good value planeswalker, and she puts creatures into the graveyard. Ooh, Regicide. I really like Regicide. I love it because it's a very draft-centric card, and it almost kills, like in the cube with a lot of multicolor, it's almost going to always have a target. And it looks like he's taking it, or he's reading it. Okay, he's reading it out loud, and he's taking it. Person on the right is choosing red. And then he's choosing white. And person on the left chose green. So, Naya. A Naya Regicide. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. A 1-mana kill spell is always fun. And here we're back to the original pack. And look, the Time Walk is gone. What a surprise. I think the Solemn is fine here, or the Collective Brutality. Collective Brutality has a few different modes, but the Solemn is just such a good sack target for the reanimating. Well, like, Recurring Nightmare. There we go, he takes it. Snap picks Vraska's, which is pretty good. He doesn't seem to have a lot of... Now he's got 2 sources of Planeswalker removal. I have to say, I'm flabbergasted that he passed the Time Walk. Ooh, Coco Show wheeled around. Alright, he's got another chance at the Coco Show. Maybe this time he'll understand that you take the Ravenous Chupacabra. Chris. Coco Show wins the game with Recurring Nightmare. Every turn, you just drain 5 life and swing, and... Why would you do this to me, Chris? Why? Why? You had the bomb. And he takes the Baleful Strip. Oh my god. I think the Knight's Whisper would have been better here, but he's feeling really greedy, I guess. He's got no blue mana fixing except for the... yes, he has the Solemn Simulacrum. And he has a Mox Sapphire, but I don't think that's enough to play the Baleful Strix. Especially when he's, like, hedging his deck into white, except he passed the Elesh Norn. He passed the Elesh Norn and the Coco Show! Oh my god. And unfortunately, the video feed cut out, so we're on to pack 3. And Chris Wong off to take a channel, which is great. Great pick. Channel's a great card, except he has no bombs. He has no bombs to play it with. And with Recurring Nightmare, Chris passed 2 incredibly bomby cards in pack 2, and I just can't believe it. Savannah's really good. If he's in white, I think Savannah is the pick here. He needs a good chunk of mana fixing, and Savannah will do it. I don't really like Gerard's Verdict as much. He's not going to win by hand disruption. He's going to win by being able to... It looks like he's going for Ink Eyes over Savannah. I think the Ink Eyes would have wheeled better than the Savannah here, but we'll see how that plays out in just a few short picks. But the good news is he at least has a value creature that he can get with the Recurring Nightmare. Ooh, Bitter Blossom. Bitter Blossom, wow. Man. So, this is a second pick Bitter Blossom in pack 3. And Bitter Blossom is just amazing with Recurring Nightmare. Like, that is like the 2 cards you want to play together. Man, that is sickly good. So, since the video feed cut out, we saw that he managed to pick up a Sorin, which is a great token generator, and light up the stage, which is just really curious. It's a really strong card. And Domri and Stomping Ground. So it looks like Gruul isn't getting picked. But I do like Sorin, especially if he's going into Abzan. Being able to make tokens, make an emblem, and when you have your Bitter Blossom army coming out, this is really good. Alright, we got Genesis. Oh, please take the Genesis, Chris. Please take the Genesis. Live the dream. Ooh, Mana Vault. I don't think he's got much to really ramp into, though. But that Genesis... So, Survival of the Fittest and Genesis have been always good friends together. You discard your Genesis, and you find whatever you're looking for, and every turn you recur whatever like big thing that you need to win the game. It just provides a really soft lock on the game. Oh man, though. I think, please, he takes Treachery? Alright, Goyf, Balance, Liliana the Veil. I really like Liliana the Veil. I mean, that's kind of how he's going to win this game. He's going to get out bomb creatures and leave his opponent stripped of resources. Regrowth. Another Sorin. I don't see much. Maybe the Sorin? But I kind of like the Field of Ruin here just for a little bit of mana fixing. And there can be some problematic lands that he runs up against. But it looks like he's either going to take the Regrowth or the next Sorin. Maybe he's looking to wheel a Sun Titan? But he takes the Sorin. Horizon Canopy's really good here. And I really like the Lich with Recurring Nightmare. But it looks like he's opting for the Horizon Canopy. He's got a good amount of green-white fixing and just fixing in general. So he may not need to take the Horizon Canopy. I think the Custodian Lich is really strong with Recurring Nightmare, just being, alright, takes the Horizon Canopy, which is a solid pick. And now we're back to this pack. Gerard's Verdict is a fine sideboard card against control matchups, so I wouldn't be too bummed picking that here. But he's maybe looking at the Fact or Fiction too. I think Gerard's Verdict is the correct pick here. It's a good sideboard card against control. He's able to play it pretty easily. And here we go, next pack. Oath of Nissa. Oath of Nissa is fine. He's got a lot of Planeswalkers to kind of make it work. The Yavimaya Elder is a good sack target and can fix his mana a bit. I do like Oath of Nissa. It's Green Ponder. I agree with that pick. The Oath of Nissa. And here we are. Temple Garden. So he didn't see the Savannah. So somebody else is definitely in green-white. So Temple Garden is a fine pickup for that pack. It's a good late pickup. It fixes his mana. He's got a lot of good fixing. I don't think he needs any more after this. Goyf? Goyf is fine. He's going to be filling his graveyard. Goyf is fine. And that's a late Goyf too. But man, there's doesn't seem to be any really big bombs left for Chris to draft. That Recurring Nightmare could have just done so much more, but it seems like he's just going to be going after tempo-y value. Maybe sacking Bitter Blossom tokens to get back to Ravenous Chupacabra and just grind it out that way. Wall of Omens. Knight of Autumn? Knight of Autumn is pretty solid here. Being able to have a silver bullet, spike, and that's a late spike. But I really do like the Knight of Autumn. Being able to destroy an artifact or enchantment is pretty strong in this cube. Being able to gain 4 life or just have a big beater, and the fact that you can do it over and over and over again with the Recurring Nightmare means that you're going to have a solid game plan. And we're rounding out to the last 2 picks, Rakdos Cackler and Nantuko Monastery. Alright, so that's the draft. Thank you guys all for showing up. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I'm trying to do more of these videos, so please subscribe to Phat Pack Magic. We are also setting up a Patreon. We have a Facebook page and a Discord if you want to discuss the drafts or just anything in general. So hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell if it's up. And this is Phat Pack Magic signing off. And may all your packs be fat.